Pakistan has certain problems. हम किसी और पाकिस्तानी के पीछे खड़े नहीं हो सकते. Government has to give the opportunities. You cannot fix Pakistan's problem with the politics.
Assalamu alaikum. So we all want to do something about Pakistan or like whatever the surroundings is around us, but the problem always has been that what shall we do? And it's kind of like a confusion. I actually did the post yesterday about the confusion state of mind. So basically what happens is that this confused state of mind is basically doesn't let you make a decision. So if we have a black and we have a white. So between black and white, there are a lot of gray scales. So it's very simple. I'm going to get married to that person. And then you think about it long time. No, yes. And then all these people are surrounding you, are saying no and yes. And you are confused. And then you've been offered a job, not from one place, but 10 places. So basically all these offers, it makes you confused. So if you have like more than one choice, then you think a lot about it and then ultimately not make a decision about this. And that leads to, and then you keep on delaying it. Either you buy a land or you buy a ready-made house. So this decision goes on. And I think these are some of the examples I'm giving you in your own life, which is ultimately is going to be this confused state of mind actually takes you to a level that when you do not make a decision, then other people actually starts to make a decision for you. So other people are going to come around you, is going to say, no, buy a land, because this is going to be cheaper worked out. And the other person is going to say, because I bought the land and ultimately I tried to actually build it. It took 2 years to build the house and it's so much hassle and all the builders were after you. And then there was an issue with the budget, and then ultimately we brought the cement prices gone up, the brick prices gone up, and then this hassle you go through just because you could not make a decision yourself. So first of all, we have to actually make sure that in our lives we make a decision. So we made a decision, a conscious decision, that we are going to work towards changing Pakistan. So basically what happens is that when you make a decision that you want to do something, the actual decision you're making is about the path. So you're saying either I'm going to become a doctor or I'm going to become an engineer or I'm going to actually do my own business. These are all paths which lead to the ultimate destination. So you're not making a decision about the actual destination itself. You're making a decision about the path, which path you're going to take. So for instance, if you're going to be serving the humanity, then ultimately the destination is serving the humanity. It's not through becoming a medical doctor. It's not through becoming an engineer. It's not through becoming a philanthropist. It's not through becoming an entrepreneur. Focus on the destiny. So our destiny was Pakistan has certain problems, and those problems has got some solutions. Every problem has got a solution. Every single problem in the world has got the solution for it. The issue is that it's not clear in our minds. So all you have to do is just go out and find a solution. The solution for that is I don't have a roof over my head. The solution is I'm going to earn a lot of money, and then through that money, I'm going to actually buy a house. So solution is not earning a money. The solution is actually a house, the roof over you. So that's the problem. Our focus actually turns toward the money part because that is the path which leads you to actually buy a house. So this is the key in terms of a mindset, which is the entrepreneurial mindset. So entrepreneurs always think that this is a problem, what and how I'm going to actually exploit that problem in order to get the favor from it. So what we did, that Pakistan has certain problems, and a lot of people actually watch the TV from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock every day, and they have been trying to do that like for the last 15 years to figure out what are the solutions for Pakistan, what is going to fix Pakistan. They haven't been able to actually figure it out. We did. It was very simple. Pakistan has certain problems, you fix those problems, and Pakistan is going to be fixed. It's very simple. So once you solve those problems, Pakistan is going to be a developed nation. So we said, okay,
if we fix those problems. So ultimately, in our mind, the problem fixing element is with the government. The government has to do this. Government has to clean the roads. Government has to actually provide us a clean air. Government has to provide us the continuous gas, which we can actually cook. Government has to actually provide all this electricity, uninterrupted supply. Government has to fix all those problems. Government has to give the opportunities. And what are the opportunities is the jobs. So all those things we think is the government. So when you think the government is the key, then your mind actually goes towards that we're gonna support a political party or that person who's gonna actually come on the top and then we'll fix everything. So that's what we've been doing for 70 years. So all these people who have actually ruled Pakistan were ultimately being supported by those people. Doesn't matter whether they were dictators or came through the political process. We supported them. We allowed them to be in that position because we thought they are the solvers. They are going to solve this problem. It hasn't happened. So politics is not the way in Pakistan. It has happened in Malaysia. It has happened in Turkey. One person was supported by a masses and that person came on the top, and in 15 years they actually fixed many problems. They became a developing nation. But in Pakistan somehow ये लतीफ़े ऐसे ही नहीं बने हुए कि जहन्नुम के अंदर ना हर कौम का एक गढ़ा होगा और हर गढ़े के बाहर ना एक फरिश्ता खड़ा होगा जो उनको बाहर नहीं निकलने देगा। लेकिन पाकिस्तानी कौम का जो गढ़ा होगा उसमें कोई फरिश्ता नहीं होगा। इस वजह से कि जब भी कोई पाकिस्तानी बाहर निकलने की कोशिश करता है तो दूसरा पाकिस्तानी उसकी टांग खींच लेता है। So there is a reason behind it. हम लाइन में पता है क्यों नहीं खड़े होते इस वजह से। हम लाइन में इस वजह से नहीं खड़े होते कि हमें लाइन में खड़े होने के इस वजह से नहीं कि जहालत है या इलिटरेसी है या इल डिसिप्लिन। नमाज में तो खड़े हो जाते हैं साइड बाय साइड। हम लाइन में इस तरह इसलिए नहीं खड़े होते कि हम किसी और पाकिस्तानी के पीछे खड़े नहीं हो सकते। तो जब आप किसी पाकिस्तानी के पीछे खड़े नहीं हो सकते तो आप उसको सपोर्ट कैसे करोगे कि वो चेंज करेगा। आपने कभी नोट किया होगा कि एक फ़र्द आपके पीछे खड़ा होगा जहाँ पे फोर्स किया है लाइन लगाने के लिए, तो उसका जो मुंह है ना वो आपके कंधे पे होगा यहाँ पे। Would be standing like this. So it doesn't want to actually let you even go further. It would just be like this. उसके पैर पीछे होंगे लेकिन that person would be like almost next to you. So politics is not the solution for us. You cannot fix Pakistan's problem with the politics. The second is the philanthropy. So Idi Saab actually took one problem and then ultimately they tried to ask for the money. People donated the money and that money actually solved that problem, which was the problem of ambulance service. Pakistan didn't have the ambulance service a few years ago. So Pakistan's one problem was fixed through philanthropic means. Another problem was fixed by Imran Khan in the cancer hospital. He went around the whole world, asked for the money, people gave him the money, and then ultimately we had a nice cancer hospital. This is one way of actually solving problems, but that is not sustainable because it doesn't have the element. Idi Saab gone, passed away, and now the people have stopped giving him the money, credibility, because the rest of the team doesn't have that. Imran Khan is going to go from this world, and then ultimately problem recreates itself. So the only way through which you can solve any problem in the world is through entrepreneurship. So what entrepreneur does, it takes a problem, looks at the gap in the market, think of it with the entrepreneurial mindset is an innovative solution for it. That innovative solution actually turns into a business. So that person actually builds a business around that innovative solution. That business solves a problem and solves a problem in a sustainable way because that problem, when you solve it, has got the profit. That profit is the magic because you actually build something which costs you X amount of money, and then you put 50%, 100% profit on it, and that profit actually makes that cycle keep on running because you pay the salaries from it, you pay for the raw material, you pay for the rent, you pay for the scaling bit, and that keeps on going that circle. That's how the problems are solved in the world. You would be amazed that what the size of the actual small and medium-sized enterprises in the US. We think the $2 trillion economy is actually being supported by the Google, the Microsoft, the Amazon, the Tesla, and likes of those. That's not the case. 70% of American economy is based on small and medium-sized enterprises. And that was our key. In 70s, we were growing with that rate. Every single street, you would go in Karachi, you would go in Faisalabad, Gujranwala, Sialkot. It was littered with cottage industry. It was so much going on. That was the economic activity. Those were the small and medium-sized enterprises which were actually ruling. Those were fixing the problem. So cutting it short, I would say that this is the solution for Pakistan. We have to create, we have to solve those problems. But the good thing with the entrepreneurship, you not only solve a problem, it does two more things. It creates a new wealth, which wealth wasn't there before. So that wealth is new wealth is being created. And the second thing, it creates new jobs. And that jobs are what we need at this point in time. We have a 60% of our population is below 30 years of age. It's a time bomb. It's a time bomb. You can treat car as an asset, or you treat car as a liability. And I think whoever owns a car knows and understands what I'm talking about. If you don't take care of it, it's going to be, the tire is going to be flat, it's going to be punctured, the seats is going to be ruined, the body is going to actually slowly fade away, the engine is going to start to ask for the quick maintenance, and all those kind of things has been happening in Pakistan. So if you don't take care of your youth, they're going to blast. And we have seen, since 2008 till 2015, they were blasting everywhere, literally, on the streets, on this corner, that corner, that corner, and the people were dying. So wake up. These guys can actually start throwing stones at your cars. And that has happened in the Middle East. So wake up. And it's not just about the actual solving a problem, this is the real problem, that you don't provide the jobs through job creation, through your SME. So if you think, and I'm just so that was the journey of Jumpstart. That's what we wanted to do. That's how we wanted to change, by creating a new wealth. And our focus was on the startups, but now our major focus is going to be the SMEs. That's why we are actually focusing on. Imagine if you have $1 million revenue. $1 million revenue usually allows you to afford a lifestyle of that person who has got the house in Islamabad, who has got the house in Karachi. Each house has got about 4 cars, 2 land cruisers parked outside. Your kids are going into the best schools of that city. You go to Singapore in the winter to actually have a holiday. You go to London to have a holiday in summer. That kind of lifestyle you have. And you can afford a couple of times to actually have a private jet, to hire out for a couple of days. That's what $1 million revenue actually allows you to do that as a person. And you're going to be driving the best car. But then what? That's it. You're probably going to be the 55 and 60 and you're going to have regrets that you could actually do a lot more. What we are saying, that your 5 lakh or 10 lakh, which you give away to those people, you think like, okay, the servant is in your house, the lady who actually works in your house, clean the house, I'm just going to give like 5 lakh uski beti ki shaadi kara dunga. That's not your contribution. Kisi ko rickshaw le dunga, kisi ko dukaan kara dunga. Because you feel guilty. You see all these people on the streets and you think, these people, okay, they have not impoverished like over the time, so let's give them some money, let's do some charity. That's not the way you do change people. Why do not change 2,000 people's lives? So 200 people in your company who are actually working in your company, your real contribution is to make that 200 put another 0 next to it. Create another 1,800 jobs for them. And then forget about that, like whatever you can afford. You can afford a yacht, you can actually afford a plane, you can afford anything. But what matters is that you created all those jobs, you created that wealth which wasn't there. So we want to help you with that. Please change your mindset. Please change your mindset that this is the real contribution you can do to change Pakistan. Scale your company to 10x. That's what Pakistan needs. Imagine if we are able to scale 500 companies of Pakistan to 10x. Imagine what revolution is going to bring. That's going to create about $20 to $30 billion into Pakistan economy. Government of Pakistan can't even do that. They are, crying out loud basically and boosting about that the incoming remittances from the overseas Pakistanis has jumped from 20 billion to 30 billion. That is going to stop. That is going to stop. But those people are not going to send you the money because they have their own life going on. That's going to stop. They're not going to build all these coties here. They're not going to buy all these cars here because this landscape cannot stay for that long. So you have to wake up and then scale your company to 10x. And when you're going to be a 55-year-old, you're going to be content in your heart that you haven't given them the rosy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually have, but you were the way to actually provide that. He chose you to create another 1,800 people wasila for them. So that's what the Jumpstart is about. That's what Jumpstart want to do. We want to help you with the market access. Please give us those leads that, okay, you want to expand into Europe, you want to expand into Spain, you want to expand into US, you want to expand into Sydney, you want to expand anywhere. Whatever the problems you have in terms of the access to the market, alhamdulillah, we have about 500 people all across the globe who's ready to actually support you, who's ready to connect you. If you have a problem with the legal structure in any particular country, if you have a problem in raising a fund, if you have a problem in supply chain in terms of the human resource, work with us in order to actually make sure that you get the industry-ready resources. We are working with about 35 universities to make sure that they produce the industry-ready resource. So those 1,800 people are ready in the market for you. You do not tap into another company and make sure that, okay, you're going to snatch away and give them 20,000 rupees more, and they jump the boat. So market access, global market access, access to funding. And inshallah, we're going to be launching, because of the lift is being postponed and there is a whole story to that, but the financial aspect of it. That's where the money is needed for the scaling part. And we're going to be setting up a private equity fund, inshallah, soon. And that is going to flow in the money for all these SMEs. And the third thing is the capacity building. So we cannot do that alone. That's why our slogan is stronger together, building a great nation. Thank you.